vegetarian was taken? I guess, Ward shrugged. He'd left his skin on the edge of his plate like a pile of dead leaves. Vegan is kind of minimized. What it meant was food at its very barest. Food stripped down. They would become foragers like ancient cave people. What about goat's milk? Said Ruby. Nothing from animals. Ward made a round shape with his hands, as though this were the universal symbol for animal. Whole. I read that goat's milk is more digestible than cow's milk, Ruby continued. Ward just looked at her. Then, after enough silence had passed, he said, Are we going to do this? Are we? Ruby replied. She knew Ward had known her long enough to understand that this meant yes. It began with a kind of growling, a low drone which became a vehicle on rolling hills. Dust flew up in its wake, and then Ruby was there, standing behind a jeep as it drove away. Fucking, somebody called, but she heard only a slice of the word, her mind filling in the rest on its own. She woke. Someone was yelling. It was the middle of the night in their quiet townhouse complex, and a man's voice was yelling. She couldn't make out the words. She could only lie stiffly, afraid to rustle the sheets. Ward slept on beside her, his palm cupped under his cheek, his mouth ajar. A sound like cars passing through a faraway tunnel whisked from the space between his lips. Hey, came the voice. Closer now, and laced with the echoes of the empty street, footsteps erratic. Hey! The word rang hard in the stillness like a bird hitting glass. Ruby sat partway up and smeared the sleep from her eyes. The curtains were sheer. There was nothing there, but she could picture the man right outside her window tangled up in the junipers. She imagined the face as one she knew. She'd seen him at the market that morning, dropping new potatoes one by one into a plastic bag. She'd recognized his face, the strong eyebrows and round doe eyes, but she hadn't been able to place him. When he turned toward her, the way his eyes darted away from hers revealed that he'd recognized her too. They'd walked past each other without another glance. But now his gaze held fast through the shadows, latching onto hers. Ruby slid her body back under the covers. Ward did not stir. In the morning, Ward danced around the kitchen in his usual way, flipping eggs with a spatula in one hand and holding a mug of coffee in the other. Ruby shuffled in, tying her bathrobe belt snug around her waist. You slept in, Ward said. I was up for a while, sometime in the night, like 3 a.m. Really? Why? You slept through it, Ruby said, pouring herself a cup of coffee and sitting at the table. There was a fight, some domestic dispute. I think this guy was yelling and swearing, fuck this, fuck that. It was so loud, I thought the whole neighborhood would be up. Huh, Ward said. No kidding. I didn't hear a thing. Who do you think it was? Number 9? Remember Helen said her daughter was splitting from her husband and moving in with her for a while? Maybe, Ward said. Are you sure you didn't dream it? I didn't dream it, she shot back. I think I know when I'm dreaming and when I'm awake. Sheesh, fine. Ward took a seat, setting a plate of eggs and baked beans in front of Ruby and a plate of toast in front of himself. Over easy. Tell me if they're perfect. Ruby sliced into the bubble of milky skin, letting the yolk ooze out. Silky, she said. Smooth. Yep. Perfect. She licked the yolk off the blade of her knife. Disgusting, Ward said. He'd always liked his eggs hard, the yolk turned to chalk. This is your last egg, right? My last egg. She sighed, contemplating the chunk speared on the end of her fork. You'd better enjoy it, he said, spreading peanut butter on his wedge of toast. You've been having a lot of lasts. You can't just do this cold turkey, she said. Cold